Hello and good day, everyone. I want to talk about frustration. The emotion of frustration is so frustrating. And I've lived my life feeling frustrated most of the time. And frustration, when we don't deal with it and we don't look at the real cause and we don't look into ways to get out or exit out of that emotion, it's going to be clinging on to us. And it is like a leash that you just can't remove. And there's no joys, there's no fun. It brings anger, it brings lack of motivation, it brings doubt, it brings fear, it brings all kinds of things that is very, very dense and negative and not constructive at all. It holds us back, and we have to understand that the emotion of frustration, we own that. We own it. All right. So there are triggers, there are things that we're not reaching our desired goals. We'll want something and we can't get it. We're not achieving it. So frustration arises, and it's very consuming. And it actually has to do with a very, very deep issue within ourselves. And it's usually something that we hold, a past hurt, a belief system, something that we're holding on to that is causing this frustration. So we blame other people, we play the victim, we do all that. And we need to look within. We really, really, really need to look within. And the life that we live is really a reflection of how we feel about ourselves inside. So when we're frustrated about, our work, we're frustrated about our relationship, we're frustrated with all kinds of things, it's all about us not liking something and creating resistance within ourselves. And until we have the aha moment that really puts the real picture in front of us, that we really, really see how we are completely responsible for this frustration, we will not change our situation. We will keep on living frustrated. And what is really important to understand is that if you have a goal, you have a dream of having something, and you achieve that because you're very able to achieve it. I was able to achieve my goal, many of my goals. It's not the achieving that I have a hard time. It's the removing that feeling of frustration that is really deep within me. And until we have resolved that deep frustration within us, no matter what it is, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new job, it could be a new town, a new house, a new car, it could be anything. We will never fully appreciate what we have, and we will not be in alignment until we've dealt with the real issues at the core of our frustration. So for me, and I mean that in no disrespect for my family, I had a very beautiful childhood in the sense that I wasn't abused, there was no alcohol, there was no fighting, there was no abuse of any kind. The environment was very healthy. However, there was a lot of pressure to perform. And I learned that for me to really deserve love, I needed to be exactly the way I was supposed to be, what was expected of me. And if I faltered from that, then there was a rejection, right? And so I've had some goals set that for me were too high for me to reach. And it was extremely frustrating because I'd have the punishment of, they would remove something that I enjoyed because I wasn't able to meet the expectation. And so what I did in my life is I've always felt frustrated about that's within me. And so until I really realized, and you think you've resolved some stuff, and suddenly, you know what? Boom, it fits you right back in your face, and then you're thinking, I cannot freaking believe this. I thought I had resolved this. But what is great is once you've done some work to resolve some of the inner stuff, the inner gawk that's inside of you, then you've got that awareness of what it is. You got half the work done. You got half the work done. And so what needs to be done is to understand how to shift our mindset and identify what needs to be done by us to start dealing with the real issues and acknowledging it, going through all of the emotions of that frustration, getting real with ourselves. And only then we can let it go and create something new for us, a new reality. Because the reality, we can work at it bits by bits, but the journey is really to master ourselves in some of what we have a pattern of letting recur. And so the resentment, the frustration, the anger, having gratitude but not full gratitude, being happy but not fully happy, being in joy but not feeling fully in joy. That is part of the process. That's part of us being human. And we really need to work at the core, and it'll come back, right? So for me, recently, that frustration has been part of some of my daily experiences. And only recently did I have the aha moment of, I cannot freaking believe this. Again, I got to deal with this again. So, what I want to say is, although I'm helping people and I understand the concept and all that, I'm not all fixed. I'm very human. But I understand, why you're frustrated, because I'm frustrated. I understand why you feel resentment, because I felt resentment. I understand why you feel guilt, because I feel guilty. I felt guilty. I've recognized that. The shame, the having the pressure of being perfect, the pressure of being exactly what you feel people believe you should be. And that if you're anything short of that, you're not good enough. The value decreases, and, you're not worthy of love. And certainly not worthy of your self-love, because then you become critical. What happens is that originally, when you're faced with all of this realization, it's really hard to absorb and deal. But once it recurs, it becomes easier. And I can actually laugh about it right now. Like there's the crying, oh my God, I can't believe this, releasing of the emotions. And then it's like, yeah, okay, you know what? I got this, because I know now. So it is so interesting what frustration brings about in your life, and how through your journey you are blooming and mastering yourself in a variety of ways where you are challenged. But I thought I had it all together for a while, and then suddenly I'm feeling resistance, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm going, okay, I've got to explore that. And so I asked for help. and and having a discussion with my mentor, oh my God, I picked up on it right away. I picked up on it right away from the exchange that we had. So, working with someone is really important. Working with someone who understands, who's been there, who's, still there at times and so on, is really important. And, it doesn't make me less of a person of being a spiritual life coach. Absolutely not. I think that me explaining that to you is even more comforting for you to know, my God, she actually feels. She's not like this doll, or not that I look like it. I don't look so bad, but like, she's not like this fake person in front of all of us, talking about stuff, and she's all together. So I just want to say, I'm not all together, but I'm definitely alive and capable, and I can laugh at some of the quirks that I haven't resolved yet, and I have to resolve still. So I wanted to share that with you, to let you know that lately I'm working on my frustration, on my resentment, and on the pressure and the stress of life that I put on myself. And I recognize that there are elements in my life that are just, they're mirroring how I feel inside right now. And that, yay, I know that now. So let's get to work, and let's get this fixed and resolved, and let's move through, and then let's make it better. All right, so wishing you all the best, and get real. Get real with yourself. Really, you need to get real. Otherwise, you're going to keep on being frustrated, angry, in doubt, in stagnation, even moving backwards. So get real, all right? All the best to you. Love and light. Franny Shara here.